Okay, I would like to welcome on stage Abimbola Olufore Wycliffe, the Head of Investment and Technology Promotion Office in Nigeria at Unido. She'll be sharing some findings with us on a recent survey, a joint survey between Unido and Aezo on SEZs in the continent. Round of applause for Abimbola.
Good afternoon, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. I stand on all existing courtesies, and I bring you greetings from Unido headquarters in Vienna. It is my pleasure to address you today on behalf of Unido Investments and Technology Promotion Office of Nigeria. Let me congratulate Africa Economic Zones Organization and the African Union as the main organizers of this fantastic event and gathering here in Nigeria. We also salute all the international and Nigerian partners, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, the NESA, NEPSA, and OGSA, who have made this event possible. Unido is honored to be here. My name is Abimbola Olufore Wycliffe, and I am standing in today for Mr. Stefan Kras of the Unido Division of Fair Production, Sustainability, Standards and Trade, who unfortunately could not be here. The principal subject of discussion in this presentation will be the Unido Aezo survey on industrial parks in Africa, which was overseen by our colleagues at the Unido headquarters in Vienna and also supported by my ITPO for its effective implementation in Nigeria. The strong cooperation with our colleagues of Aezo was invaluable to the implementation of the survey. So I thank you, Aezo. Thank you, Mr. Ahmed Benis and your team for this strong cooperation and collaboration, and we look forward to working with Aezo more because it has been very beneficial, and I will share the results, the preliminary results with you. So we have been working constructively with Aezo for a number of years, particularly on matters of knowledge, sharing, and dissemination, as well as networking. We look forward to cooperatively, extensively with Aezo in the years to come at the future annual meetings and, of course, beyond. On this occasion, we would also like to honor the European Commission and the Organization of African, Caribbean, and Pacific States, which are providing financial support to the program, ACP Business Friendly Program. This program is geared towards supporting value chains through inclusive policies, investment promotion, and alliances. It is the program which underpins the concrete work between Unido and Aezo. Before I discuss the initial results of the survey, its methodology and the indicative lessons learned, perhaps we can briefly outline the background and motivations, particularly the need for robust data on industrial parks across the African continent. Distinguished delegates, as mentioned, the basis of the survey is provided by the Business Friendly Program for the OACPS. Unido is co-implementing this program with two partner agencies, namely the World Bank Group and the International Trade Center, in order to achieve the overarching objective of creating an enhanced investment climate for investors. Unido is looking to specific sub-goals, namely supporting African, Caribbean, and Pacific host country institutions, specifically industrial park authorities and investment promotion agencies, to establish monitoring systems related to the economic, social, and environmental impact of international FDI. Another objective is ramping up the contribution from the world's largest FDIs, especially in order to boost industrial infrastructure development, which very much includes industrial parks. Improving the linkages between EU multinationals and domestic suppliers in terms of increasing transaction volumes and mainstreaming quality, environmental, social, and corporate governance issues across supply chains. This has a bearing on industrial parks and related transactions with domestic business actors that are operating from outside the site. Just as earlier mentioned by the European Commission representative, Ms. Cecile Bilot, central to the efforts of the digital Invest in ACP platform, which acts as a one-stop shop, linking investors with investment promotion agencies, industrialists, and industrial parks in 79 countries across Africa, the Caribbean, and Pacific region. The platform aims to provide potential investors with the basic information one could need to potentially strike up new investment relationships in African countries. We encourage everyone to visit this portal. At this time, it's supposed to be up, but we can also share the link with you subsequently if you reach out to myself or any of our colleagues. Investor relevant data is a crucial component of these efforts. Data can be harnessed as a guide for investors to make informed decisions. This includes showcasing the status, location, and characteristics of operational industrial park sites across Africa. Only if an investor knows that an industrial park site exists can they make a decision on whether to include it in the shortlist of potential competing sites. Long-term policy decisions, for example, concerning sustainability, digitalization, and industrial symbiosis, as mentioned during the panel earlier today, needs reliable data, and that includes data on industrial parks. Capacity building initiatives also require accurate and timely data to move from planning to action. So this work would also underpin a lot of the work that Unido is doing in supporting the future workforce, not just for economic zones, but for the entire economy of states within Africa. So for us to build capacity and help them to ramp up skill, to support what is coming in the future, especially with innovations such as AI, augmented reality, Internet of Things, we also need to build capacity of our youth, our women, and mainstream a lot of people that would otherwise not be carried along into the economic growth plans for all African countries. My distinguished delegates, the necessity of reliable, robust, and disaggregated data cannot be overemphasized. As a first step with Aezo, we undertook a process of bundling information about industrial parks in Africa from various public and non-public sources. Aezo's SEZs, Atlas data, proved valuable in this regard. Based on a sampling frame comprising of more than 200 sites in Africa, during the third quarter of this year, Unido and Aezo reached out to various industrial sites and national authorities via email. We would like to thank the many members of the audience who contributed to the survey through their submissions. Likewise, we must thank Aezo, who amplified the outreach within Africa through their master list of industrial partners, social media campaigns, videos, etc. The survey pursued several objectives which were achieved. One of the findings is that between 60% to 70% of SEZs or industrial parks offer modular on-site leasable spaces in standard or common warehouses or leasable space in standard factory buildings and shells. The message here is very clear. Existing African industrial parks are ready to receive more investors with good service packages. This information is very important for policymakers in the room or planners so that we do not take hasty decisions into developing new industrial parks unless there is a clear economic, social, environmental rationale for it. Either way, such new industrial parks should avoid undermining the value proposition of already established infrastructure, ending up in a zero-sum gain where investors are relocating within the country, but ultimately no new investment is created. It is also clear that industrial parks are a major driver of job creation in Africa. The survey report indicates that the median number of jobs created in African industrial parks is 2,075, with significant variations across industries and geographies. The total observed African industrial parks sample reports that more than 700,000 jobs have been created with an average female participation of close to 37%. There are still some efforts to make to achieve gender parity, and we might want to analyze in future rounds how the female participation alters when looking at different workers' skill groups. We can also observe that while most industrial parks in Africa report plans for future expansion, they face a significant need to upscale existing infrastructure. For instance, we can see a median of just 6% use of renewable energy at present. With better supplies of power, up to 20 megawatts, internet bandwidth, up to 39 MBS, and water use, up to 2,700 cubic meters per day. Since the outbreak of COVID, demand for digitalization has increased somewhat for African industrial parks. This is also one of the discoveries, and it is glaring. This is particularly true in terms of demand for remote working arrangements, digital investor services, digital strategy management, and data security. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, these are some early results. We are currently analyzing the initial data in order to determine the implications for future policy development in cooperation with our partner at Aezo, African Union, and the OACPS, as well as the EU. Subsequently, we will produce a draft report based on the consolidated data, which will highlight the main outcomes through a webinar that will be announced in 2023. We will be holding this webinar in collaboration with Aezo and the economic zones within most of the member states in Africa, because we're looking to actually foster a stronger intra-Africa collaboration in terms of the locations and the designs and the specifications of each industrial park, and how they can, be a part of, they can contribute to the special economic zones' strength and contributions to economic growth. Once again, we encourage you to visit the industrial parks section of the Invest in ACP website, and you can already see more and more African industrial park public fact sheets emerging along with GPS data emanating from the responses we have received to the public section of the survey questionnaire. If more industrial park entities wish to be part of this exercise, please contact us and we will be delighted to grant you this opportunity. Thank you for your attention, and congratulations to NEZA and NEBZA on the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the Free Zone Scheme in Nigeria. Congratulations also to Aezo on a successful summit. Thank you very much.